This is Sydney's well-known Hordern Pavilion, long renowned for housing some of the best indoor tennis tournaments and rock concerts in Australia. But within hours of the 1982 custom-credit tennis titles, the brand new court was unrecognisable. It had turned into this, the first indoor BMX circuit in Australia, which was about to host 3 hectic days of fierce competition. Some 700 tonnes of earth were dumped onto the immaculate tennis court. Then it was shaped and moulded into one of the tightest and hardest racing tracks in the world. The stage became the starting grid for what proved to be the toughest and twistiest circuit many of the riders had ever tackled. And there were plenty of contenders. They came from most states of Australia to vie with the hot shots of America and New Zealand. The daunting prospect of a new and rigorous track didn't daunt any of them. None of the locals, let alone the overseas visitors, had faced such a competition on such a tight and twisting track. But come they did, and with them they brought not just a doting father or mother, but both parents, and in most cases brothers and sisters to cheer them on as well. The huge crowds comprising thousands of parents, sisters, brothers and relatives packed the stands for the heats as well as the finals, proving the incredible popularity this sport has won in just a few short years. And along with the family groups, the professional side, teams sponsored or owned by promoters. The competition is no longer just a neighbourhood contest. Even the 5-year-olds take their BMX riding seriously. It's become a competition which would put many a burly rugby league player to shame for the displays of sheer guts and determination. And behind each and every young rider, there's the wholehearted support of the family. Each rider is on his own once they're on the track, though, and that's all that matters. Winning as many points as possible so that at the end of the contest, they have a chance of being up with the winners. It could well be seen as the 80s version of the old Roman gladiators, but without the viciousness which marked those contests. So now onto the heats. The pace is fast and furious. So many have gathered for the 3-day tournament. Heats must be run as quickly as possible. So the youngsters find themselves running neck and neck. Certainly maintains the stimulation, and the kids are thriving on it. Boys and girls just 5 years old are there in the thick of it, determined to win a place and make a name, urged on all the time by family and friends. big concern for the organisers is the safety of the youngsters. Rubber tyres and hay bales on all corners. The men and women from the St John Ambulance Brigade ever on the alert at every difficult section to provide immediate help. It's a tribute to these people, the St John Ambulance officers and Alf Fryer and Ann Whitaker, who manage the Hordern Pavilion, that there are no serious injuries. Although they can happen, most injuries suffered by BMX competitors are usually cuts, scratches, bruises and a bit of dented pride. The protective clothing they wear usually saves them from more than the odd broken or strained finger. The current world champion says it's all quite safe.
There's not really too much danger involved. There's basically broken fingers and broken toes. We're equipped with, well, safety gear with helmet, goggles, gloves, long sleeve jersey, and padded leather to the knee and shin.
Oh, what about you then, Mandy? Do you ever get hurt on the track? Do you?
Towards the end, competition becomes even fiercer, and many a tear is shed by the disappointed youngsters who just haven't made the grade. But can there be any real reason to feel down? In a sport where competition is so fierce, many an adult would fade long before these youngsters. And then there's the money side. A top competition bike can cost up to $1,000. The support equipment, not to mention the mechanics and others some of the teams employ, can make that cost considerably higher. And that, says Eric Munns, who manages the Mongoose team, could well price some aspiring youngsters out of the game.
Yes, I think it might tend to frighten a few parents off, because who wants to spend a lot of money and buy a lot of equipment? They mostly will buy a cheaper type bike, and if the kid tends to be a bit competitive, they might think about upgrading a bit. But of course, with a lower grade bike, it makes him harder to be competitive. I think with any quality product that you're going to buy, we find that it does tend to become a little bit expensive, because we're using special type materials. We're using double-butted tubing, which is in a chrome moly material, and you're getting into alloy steels, which become very expensive. And they've got to be made to withstand the pressures you can see coming around the track now, and they take a hammering.